It's been nearly 3 weeks since a series of gas explosions caused dozens of house fires in the Merrimack Valley in the eastern part of the state. 22 News I-Team reporter Tamara Sakarzik looked into the state's aging underground natural gas system, which may be in need of serious upgrades.
Well, the I-Team did some research and found more than half of the gas lines in Massachusetts were installed before 1970. Some of them are much older than that.
We have to know whether or not there is a ticking time bomb out there.
21,000 miles of natural gas pipelines snake underneath homes, businesses, and schools in Massachusetts. The safety of those pipelines is now in question after a series of gas explosions fueled dozens of house fires, causing widespread destruction in the Merrimack Valley last month. The NTSB has determined the explosions were caused by an overpressurized gas line that was 12 times higher than it should have been.
Gas lines are generally very safe.
Thomas Flaws is a personal injury attorney who represents victims of similar accidents. How often do gas explosions like this happen? Is it rare?
They're very rare, particularly on a scale like this one. The single explosion, like the one that happened in Springfield, is more common to the extent that these things happen at all.
According to records the I-Team obtained from the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, there have been 42 significant incidents involving gas distribution lines in the U.S. this year alone. Here in Massachusetts, some of the natural gas pipelines are 100 years old, and about a third of the gas pipeline system is leak-prone. U.S. Senator Edward Markey told the I-Team, aging infrastructure is one of the biggest concerns when it comes to natural gas.
I think that what happened in Lawrence and Andover and North Andover is a warning to us that there could be other aging infrastructure in Massachusetts and across the country that needs to be looked at.
State lawmakers passed a bill in 2016 that requires utility companies to fix the most significant gas leaks and upgrade infrastructure. Columbia Gas had proposed rate hikes in April to cover the cost of upgrades, but they dropped the planned increase last month following the explosions. The NTSB is also looking into Feeney Brothers, a private contractor that was working with Columbia Gas the day of the explosions. Feeney Brothers released a statement that reads in part, all of Feeney's work was done with Columbia Gas's oversight and according to written procedures provided to its crew by Columbia Gas. You can read their full statement on our website, wwlp.com. I'm Tamara Sakarzik, working for you with the 22 News I-Team.